What is score choice on the SAT and ACT? That's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. I'm Kristina of Ivy Lounge Test Prep, and for the past 15 years, I've helped high schoolers all around the globe drastically raise their SAT and ACT test scores and ultimately get into the colleges of their dreams. So here's the quick answer. So score choice gives you the option to send only the scores from SAT and ACT test dates that you want a college to see with your application, meaning you do not have to send admissions committees scores from test dates that weren't to your liking. So let's consider a common example. Okay, you take the SAT multiple times because you want to generate, obviously, as high of a super score as possible. Maybe you take the SAT in March, May, and in June. So in March, you had your highest math score, like literally ever. June, right? You finally got the reading writing score that you wanted. And, math wasn't but hey, you got the reading writing score that you wanted. You're basically happy with your super score. However, that May test, it wasn't so hot. In fact, you actually had like the lowest reading writing and the lowest math ever on that one, right? You were feeling sick. You were like distracted because you had just gotten an argument with your best friend. Like who knows what happened? You were not feeling it in May, right? And whatever the cause, you flubbed it big time. Enter score choice. Dun, dun, dun. So because of this option, because of this capability, you can opt to send only March test scores and June test scores to your list and just pretend that May literally never happened. Sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? So why is score choice offered? Before I answer that question, I want to first ask you a question, and that is, how many times do you plan on taking the SAT or the ACT? Do you think you're only going to take it once, or do you know from like friends and older siblings that you might need to take it a few times to get a super score or just get the score that you want? So just answer me that in the comments below. And then while you're at it, just go ahead and like this video and also just subscribe to my channel. And then that way, when I come to you every week with the latest in SAT, ACT, and college application essay updates, you will be the first to know. So back to my question. Why is score choice offered, right? So on the surface, like score choice appears like it's like merely this huge act of kindness, of generosity, just handed down from the test gods to us mere mortals, right? Okay, or, nervous test takers. After all, like if you never have to send that score from the day you bombed, you don't have to be nervous in the first place, right? Because you could just like pretend it doesn't exist. But maybe it seems a bit suspicious to you that the College Board and the ACT student organization would be so generous. I don't know. So I'm here to tell you your spidey sense is not wrong, okay? So like most developments in the SAT and in the ACT, this actually benefits those big companies too. So hear me out. Back in the day, before score choice came along, you would just like ask the college board to send your scores to college X, right? So in my case, I was applying Brown, send my scores to Brown. And you know what happened? Then I'd pay a fee, one fee, and then the College Board would send all of my test scores. That would be the SAT. Back in the day, it was called the SAT 1. Back in the day, there were SAT 2 subject tests. We don't have those anymore, but they would send all of those. Even I think my APs, I'm pretty sure all of them got sent in the same score report to Brown. Okay. Yeah, it would suck if there was, say, a score or a test day that kind of wasn't as representative of your better capabilities, but there was simplicity to it, right? So you pay a fee, the school gets all your scores from that institution, in this case, the College Board. Okay. But nowadays, right? Think about it. If you want to send three different test dates, right? Test date scores. Say you took four and you bombed one, you want to send the other three. So nowadays, if you want to send, say, three different test scores to a college, right? You say you took it four times, you only want to send three of them because one of them was terrible, right? Cool. You pay a fee to send the first one. You pay a fee to send the second one. You pay another fee to send the third one. And the fourth one that you had taken, remember, you didn't want to send that one, so you wouldn't pay a fee. You pretend it never happens. Did you see what just happened? Right? At the end of the day, the college board just got you to pay three fees to send your scores to one college, right? So at the end of the day, like the ACT organization, which operates the same way, the College Board, they end up getting like double and triple the fees because of score choice, because you're again, you're paying a fee per test state, per college you want them to send it to. Caveat at the beginning when you're signing up to, like, say, take the SAT, take the ACT, and you say send my test to these five schools. If you put it in and they see it automatically, you don't pay the fee, but then you don't get to see your score, right? So you're sending it to them blind. And generally that's not the best idea, right? So if you want to see your scores first and then send to the colleges, now you're paying all these fees. Okay, so which colleges allow for score choice? So in the last 15 years that I've been doing this, the trend is that more and more colleges are allowing for score choice, right? But you still need to research each and every school that's on your college list to be sure. So there's still several colleges that will say we require all scores. There are some that say they recommend sending all scores. And what's with the lingo, right? Like, what's the difference between these things? So generally, if a school says they recommend that you send all scores, honestly, just send the ones that benefit you. Treat it like score choice. Like recommending, that's not the same as requiring, right? Two very different words. Plus, why are you going to pay an extra fee to submit a score that you don't actually want that college to see in the first place? Catch my drift? Now, on the other hand, if a college requires that you send all the scores, just do what they say and send them all, okay? My ACT and SAT tutoring students often protest here, like, well, how will they know, right? If you sent them, right? Especially because, you're the one who's like paying to send each score. The college is not pulling the score. They're not being charged to pull it. You're the one paying as the student. Like, how will they know? Okay, I personally have a very bad feeling about taking this risk and rolling the dice on this one. If a college goes out of its way to say that they require something, just please, I would just do that thing, okay? Who knows how the colleges and the college board, or how the colleges and the ACT might share info among themselves? I don't know if they do. And here's the deal though. If you did get caught and they say they require the scores and then they found out you did not send them, they might totally rescind your application and you might get rejected. And personally, I would not want that to happen to you, so I would not risk it. So when I'm advising a student in this arena, I say don't take that chance. So that, my friends, is everything you need to know about score choice. If you need more help with this whole test prep, college prep thing, then I have a great resource for you. I actually have a free webinar called Your Fail-Proof College Prep Plan. In it, you're going to go through the whole process in just an hour of figuring out the schools on your list, what their testing requirements are, what your target scores are, what your test date should be, and ultimately which test you should take to better show off your strengths. So check it out in the link below.